The next car from Volkswagen in India will be the Tayron. 7 seats, German engineering. Is that enough? Now you might remember the last generation Tiguan, we did get the 3-row version. It was called the Allspace. It just looked like a stretched Tiguan. In this case, there's an attempt that's been made by designers to try and give this car a slightly different identity. You know at first glance that this is the Tiguan, very similar sort of family look, but this face is different. On the Tiguan, it's a little bit more rounded, and this section of the car is similar, but it's more enhanced as being rounded, more like the EVs in a way. Here, it's a lot more straight, a lot more chunky, a little bit more like the Atlas. I think very typical boxy square SUV. That part is also enhanced by the lines on the side and the way that you see a lot of metal here. This is of course the stretched section of the car where you get the extra 3 rows, no, don't forget. And for anyone who wants like a nice big square chunky SUV, yeah, this is going to work just fine. But it's a bit of an uninspiring design. It's not something that's going to sort of turn heads or stay with you. As you come around to the back, of course, the lighting is done quite nicely and it's a little more sophisticated, a little bit more imaginative and perhaps a little more dynamic as well compared to the very boring look of the previous generation. The Tayron badge here is what, of course, sets it apart from the Tiguan family. Now this inlit VW logo, connected tail lights, it's just becoming a bit of a signature. Audi's doing it as well, of course, but I don't know, that looks a little cheesy and some people like it, some find it very interesting. Clean lines, minimal fussiness and a roofline that says, yes, there's a 3rd row in here and it's actually usable. The real reason I'm of course opening this is to show you this massive ample boot. But of course this is the car with the 3rd row. All right, that is up now. Let's see how easy it is to get inside. Well, now you saw that the 3rd row was a bit of a squeeze. It's all right for small children. Same story with all 3-row cars, right? Knees up, no under thigh support, hardly any leg room. This though, I have to say, is surprisingly comfortable. Really nice back angle, and the seat, of course, also slides back just a little bit, so it gives you a little extra leg room. You can bring it forward depending on whether you have people sitting at the back or not. So that is nice, and overall it's finished quite well too. So this is fairly comfortable. Under thigh support, also not bad. Inside, you're met with a minimalist cockpit that actually seems to make sense. That's a 12.9-inch touchscreen infotainment system. No cheap plastics, thank God, and everything feels tactile and built to last. The fully digital 10.25-inch instrument cluster can be customized to show what matters to you. And the steering wheel is loaded with buttons for easy control without taking your eyes off the road or to the touchscreen. Nicely done, VW. The front seats, heated and with a massage function on higher variants. There's also ventilation, but then this is the German spec I'm showing you. I expect it on ours too, at least the ventilation. Yes, there's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. The optional IDA voice assistant uses AI, so you can actually have a conversation with your car. But will that come to India? Unlikely. There's also level 2 ADAS. I expect that on our model. 9 airbags come as standard across all variants. Now, of course, there are different variants of the Tayron, and this is the R line. So I have the slightly more powerful version of the car. 2-liter engine, of course, but nice healthy output. Let's hope we get this one, but you know what, I'm not keeping my fingers crossed for this. But you can expect, of course, a reasonable amount of power because this is a big car and Volkswagen will want some kind of bragging rights on this. It also wants it to stand out in the crowd. And don't forget, we already have the Kodiaq, which becomes like a benchmark that this one has to either match or beat. Like on the Tiguan and on the R line, you use the screen to go in and change the drive modes. The car sounds a little noisy and interesting when you're driving in sport mode. See what I mean? It's the not bad kind of noisy. The car does handle pretty well for a car of this size. You don't get the sense that you're driving like a long stretched wheelbase version, but is it absolutely on par with the Tiguan R line? No. On this auto gearbox, you can pick between drive and sport as well, which has a little bit of a distinction. And honestly, when you're trying to do some quick overtaking and you may not be in sport mode as far as the drive mode goes, that does help. All-wheel drive is also standard. The 4-motion system distributes power intelligently, giving you all-weather capability and better traction on broken roads. So here's the question though, of course, that you're asking, what's it going to cost? Unlike the Tiguan R, it will be assembled locally at Volkswagen's Aurangabad facility using CKD kits, which is why pricing is likely to be competitive. The Tayron will launch in India likely around 45 lakh rupees, may go up to 50 with a higher variant. That does depend, of course, on the spec and the kit. I expect it to be positioned competitively against the Skoda Kodiaq, definitely more so than cars like the Fortuner. It's a good package, but pricing then will be crucial. Going lower would help Volkswagen get better volume. The launch is around the corner, so stay tuned for more details on the India spec car and, of course, the pricing.